They are all subtle, but they can be learned little by little until one appears at a time to be object of understanding the characteristic of only that which appears. See? And when we talk about different realities like Cetasikas, we used to talk about Sati, see? And Manasikara, attention, wise considering. But we learn a little more about what are they that no one knows. For example, Cetasika. See, Vitaka Cetasika, Vichara Cetasika, Phassa Cetasika, Sanya Cetasika. We know some of them because it's there to be recognized. Like attachment, it's there, we know. But the nature of other reality as Bodhi Pakaya Dhamma, it has to be learned because no understanding enough to be the practice of conditions to realize the truth. For example, there is sati and there is satta and then is viriya and so on. It seems like if we haven't heard at all, who knows that it's there? For example, satta arises with all kinds of wholesome moment. But what is it? Different from sati, satta, viriya, sati, samadhi, panya. That's why we learn from hearing and considering to let go the idea of I'm concentrate. See? But actually, without that reality, there can never be any moment of concentrating or focusing on any object at all. That's why we just learn about what is there in a moment, from moment to moment, in life to be known a little more. For example, sati and samadhi. See, we just use the term like we understand it deeper enough, but in truth, even now, is there sati? Is not known. That's why beginning to understand the subtlety of all kinds of reality, which if Buddha didn't teach it, who can know it? Like samadhi and sati, are they different? Because one cannot know that it's a reality at that moment of patience or of moment of trying to do something or trying to understand something. So many realities. That's why the more there is the understanding of the truth of each one, it conditions to understand what is there directly, which is now not directly yet, no matter what we are talking about. That's why we learn to let go the idea of I and the idea of can do or it can be done to understand what is meant by conditions. What kind of condition is there? Ignorance. What condition is it? It is condition, okay, but not like other kind of condition like Dhamma, see. That because it is that which does not understand what is there at all, a reality which cannot understand the truth. So it cannot be changed to be right understanding. That's why right understanding is not ignorance or any other cetasika. It is different from each one. Cetasika, which is right understanding, is not cetasika, which is sanya, marks and remembers, to learn a little more about what is there, even it does not show up as it is, but it's there now, marking and remembering. So this way is a way to gradually let go the clinging to the self, because it begins to understand a little more of what is not self. Sanya is not self. feeling is not self. Learn a little more, a little more, a little more to understand it, to develop understanding, to be strong enough to understand with sammasati of that which is now appearing unexpectedly. See, that's why the more understanding of the reality which can be known. For example, right now, vitaka, vichara cannot be known, but it's there. That's why learn to understand the nature of that which is there, to understand the truth that even it's there, but when it does not appear, it cannot be known. That's why this is the moment of letting go, the idea of I will go and sit and do in order to understand reality. Impossible. That's why the learning to be true, to understand the truth as it is the daily life, any moment by conditions. That's why it's so joyful. Nothing can be done. So, right understanding can develop to understand that moment. See, the moment to be naturally understanding what is there as it is begins from no one. But the reality is there. It is talked about many, many times until it develops on and on and on to be more confident of the natural realities as that which can be known because it's there, so natural by conditions. Understanding the words of the teaching, no matter what about, they condition the understanding to grow, to be a little more firmer and firmer and firmer, and that's all. Joyful. It's so natural right now. One can smile by conditions or laugh or whatever is there. That's the only way to understand the truth. All dhammas are anatta, so natural. So life goes on as usual with understanding of by conditions, whatever is there, not by anyone's will at all. No one can make anything arise at all, but because there's no one, they are only different characteristics of different realities appearing. So, but so many realities are there, do not appear to be known. So just understand that which appears. And we learn a little more about different realities like sati. It's not samadhi, it's not panya. To know moment when it's there. For example, when there's no sati, can there be moment of kusala? Learn to understand different wholesome cetasikas. Each reality which is wholesome performs its function as in the wholesome manners. Is the satana? See, just the word. But the moment of joy is so clean, see, clear of the ignorance and all kinds of akusala. And be careful because it can be joy with akusala or joy with kusala. So there can be joyful moment of kusala, but not at level of satipatthana. That's why we learn to understand a little more of what is there in life from day to day, to begin to be acquainted to the nature of it. Otherwise, it seems like we understand and we know, but it's only the idea about that which is appearing. But when it's not just the idea, the understanding is that it is different from others because it has its own characteristic. But the characteristic of all kinds of reality has to be one of the two. the one which cannot experience, arisen by conditions, but different from conditions for the one which is that which experiences the object. Just learn to understand little by little until it becomes upanisya, pajya. Begin to consider it a little more in daily life, or just remember it. Hardness is that which can be known and which has to be known. Otherwise, it does not let go. The thinking about sitting, doing, and other story. Just listen a little more of the truth in the day and begin to be truthful to the truth. And that's the way to let go ignorance and attachment and wrong understanding. Because understanding the truth, without understanding the truth of what is there, how can there be letting go the idea of self or something impossible? And this is the way to let go joyfully. See, understanding is there. And understanding does not hurt and it does not harm anything at all. Even citta, when it's there, it's clear and clean, no akusla arising at that moment. Any moment of kusala, it's not anyone, because there are many wholesome cetasikas arising to condition that very moment of kusala. Even just the words, little by little, developed, it begin to understand what is that in life, in words, by way of thinking, considering, or not at all yet, but it can begin by conditions, understanding, considering a little more. Conditions so natural understanding of a reality as it has been heard so long, a lot about it, before it can be conditioned to understand the moment of very natural reality right now. So natural, gone, natural. Is this the teaching of the enlightenment about the Four Noble Truths, about the path, the way to realize the truth of this very moment? Not now, but when there are enough conditions, letting go. I can do or I will do. All depends on conditions. Have Satya Barami and Adidana Barami and Viriya Barami is there and Kanti Barami. No matter how long it will take, more than eons and eons, life or time or moment, but that is the way because there is understanding. Begin to understanding the nature of what is there as it's gone. But before realizing the moment when it's there and gone by nimitta, there must be the understanding of different realities which is there to be known. For example, at moment of attachment, very great pleasure is there to be known because it's so true. Otherwise, what else can be known in life if it's not what is there now? Firm confidence, that's the way, beginning, developing, joyful. Otherwise, it's in the dark. Even now, it seems like we are in the light, but in truth, so dark. Even moment of thinking is dark, moment of hearing is dark, in darkness. And darker than that is no understanding of the truth that it's not there anymore, gone already from moment to moment. Otherwise, there will not be tomorrow if this moment is not gone at all. From moment to moment, no one but the way it is, Dhamma, Anatta, the circle of birth and death, whose like karma, condition vipaka, and whose see, life is just samsara. Kilesa, karma, vipaka, and kilesa again. When karma is, when vipaka is there, since there now, kilesa again, karma again. When there's the understanding, no doubt about what is there, because it's there now. Seeing is not hearing, and where seeing when there's no hearing, and when there's no, and the moment of seeing, where's the hearing? Moment of hearing, where's the seeing? See, it begins to understand the truth. Wake up from sleep and dream about that which is not true, but it appears as something and someone because no understanding of the truth, which is so very deep.
Most precious words, Achan. Thank you so much. So many good reminders. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always so beneficial and wonderful to hear.
True.
See you all next
Thank you very
week.
much, Ajahn.
Yes.
Next
Come
week.
on, Cup. Sawasdee Cup.
Sawadee ka. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
กราบเท้าท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ
Bye.
Bye bye.
อนุโมทนากับคุณเซราคุณจอน
Hello, Meta.
อนุโมทนาคุณเมตตา
อนุโมทนาสวัสดีค่ะคุณอาชิตาบ๊ายบาย
Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.
Maeve, everyone.